7:52. A 5-point lead, a little over 10 to go. You're in game number 3, day number 4. It's knocked out of bounds on the tough defense from Joseph Faraci, another Slidell native. And into Trey Rakes in the backcourt. Marshall Bennett at the top. Now Wosu. Squaring up, Darian Leslie. Backing in. Strong move. Left hand and over the outstretched arm of Brandon Moss. Darian Leslie with point number 12. Trey Rakes leading the way for the Bears with 14. And it's a 3-point game, one possession. Williams tries to go with the behind the back pass to Moss. Kept alive, fighting for it. Bennett to the ground. And now a foul will be called. I believe it'll go on William Claiborne, and it will. That is team foul number 4 and personal foul number 3. William Claiborne. Now Brian Sylvester will check back into the game. As he replaces Donovan Thomas. Now Evan Smith will check in for Joseph Faraci. 57-54. General show pressure, but a light pressure. Darian Leslie brings it across the floor for the Bears out of Pikeville, Kentucky. Rakes stepping in, kicking out Wosu, thought about a 3. Out to Leslie, left open, 3 ball, way too strong, would have tied the game. Rebound for Brandon Moss. His 6th board, 12 points, 6 rebounds. Stepping in, throwing up a shot, and he's called for a travel, and he wanted a foul. If Brandon Moss plays hard, I can guarantee you that. He stepped in and tried to create something. But instead, called for the travel. And a turnover against the Generals. That's only number 7. 9 against the Bears. Now they'll show a little harder pressure. Zarze Colberth comes back into the game. He had a stretch, 7 consecutive points. He's yet to miss from the field, 9 points, 4 out of 4. And 1 for 1 from 3. Wosu at the top. Slipping it through. Lewis hesitates. Backboard too strong. Offensive rebound Leslie. Draws a contact. Sylvester with block number 5. Sends it out of bounds, but a fresh 30 for the Bears. 5 blocks for Brian Sylvester. He came into this game with 61 on the season. Leslie inbounding. Gets it into Clint Wosu. Now Rakes. Team's leading scorer in this game of 14, sliding through. Lewis almost completes the 2-handed jam, but a foul called on his way to the rim. Foul will go on Evan Smith, as Lewis had the pass come in a little bit low, and it took him just a moment to grab the basketball. If he had that pass at his waist, it would have been an and-one opportunity, as Evan Smith continues to plead his case. And Lewis misses another free throw. 2 out of 6 at the line in this one. And that's a huge difference for Kelly Wells' club. 2 out of 6 in this one. And 4 points, 3 rebounds. 2 out of 7. And the team is 4 out of 14 at the free throw line. That's the biggest difference. 57-54. Michaels missed out on a couple of opportunities in this half. Moss called for a charge. Moss will pick up his 3rd. And he's not thrilled with the call. But Michael Lewis planted his feet and ran through him. Clint Wosu will check out. Jordan Perry coming in. Hayward Register in also for the Generals. He will replace Brandon Moss. Hayward Register has been great in this one with 11 points, 3 out of 6 from 3. Started off struggling, but he has been hot. Now Rakes working it up the floor. Evan Smith called for the foul. He's furious. And that is team foul number 7. That's his second. That will send the Bears to the line in the bonus for a 1-on-1. Only 5 fouls called against Pikeville. And they have got to convert here at the stripe. Here's Trey Rakes. He has not attempted a free throw in this one yet. And finally, the Bears make a free throw. 5 out of 14. And as a team coming in, they were shooting 69% from the line. Second one is good. Make them 6 out of 15, 40%. And it's a 1-point game with 8.5 to go from Kansas City, Missouri, the national quarterfinal. The winner to take on the Dalton State Texas Wesleyan winner coming up at 7:30. Pikeville won the national championship in 2011. Trying to get back there. Leslie with a strip. Breaks with a steal. Chance to take the lead. Breaks, pulls the trigger. In and out. Leslie fights for the offensive rebound. Going down to the floor. Jump ball called, and the possession error will go back to the Generals. As Leslie fought hard, but the Bears can't capitalize underneath. LSU Alexandria making 49% from the field, 24 out of 49. And Pikeville 22 out of 48, 46%. Under 8 to go. The national quarterfinal from Municipal Auditorium in Kansas City, Missouri, the 80th NAI National Championship. Talbot kicks out Williams. Stepping in. And a long 2 for Jordan Williams. Williams has 7 points, all after the break. The lead is back to 3 for the Generals. Register will be called for the foul. Almost came away with a nice steal, his first. And team number 8, so back to the free throw line go the Bears. They have got to be able to capitalize here. And up steps Arze Colbreth. A 79% free throw shooter coming in. 1 point yesterday against the Cougars of Columbia College, but 9 already in this one. And he converts on the first. Colbreth scored 6. The teams win early Thursday morning against the Vikings of Grandview University out of Des Moines, Iowa, a representative for the Heart of America Athletic Conference. He buries both. 4 consecutive made free throws for the Bears after starting off very slow. 4 out of 13. And it's a 1-point game again. LSU Alexandria has had the lead the entire second half, except for the very beginning when it was a 3-point lead for the Bears. Now a foul called at half court on Evan Smith. His third, team number 9. And the Bears are certainly being tested right now. Going back to the line. Now a chance to make it 6 consecutive free throws. So 1-1 again. The final 1-1. Sylvester comes out. Brandon Moss comes in. Colbreth made 2 out of 2 a moment ago. He has 11 in this game with 5 rebounds. And gets the first. We're tied. This is for the lead. Got it. They've made 6 free throws in a row after a slow start. And the Bears are finally back on top. Here in the second half, 7 to go. 60-59. Moss looking down low. Now out. Williams for the lead. No. Talbot fighting for the rebound. Kept alive Darian Leslie. Now a triple team. And they'll call a foul on Hayward Register. Darian Leslie was calling for the timeout. And worst case scenario for the Generals. That is 4 consecutive trips to the free throw line for the Bears. As Register picks up his second, they go into the double bonus. And the Bears with a chance here to keep extending this lead. And up steps Darian Leslie. And hits the first. "20 free throw attempts for the Bears out of Pikeville compared to 6 for the Generals out of LSU Alexandria. A little short, rebound, Gilbert Talbot. 11 out of 21 as a team at the line. And in a 2-point game, the Generals take a timeout. They're trailing. Pikeville's got to feel good, a 3 seed in this tournament. The number 10 overall, and the bench is pumped up. They finally been able to catch a break at the free throw line, making 7 of the last 8. And they hold a 2-point lead here down the stretch against an undefeated team. And you can see they're starting to get a little nervous over on the sideline to our left. And the Pikeville fans from Pikeville, Kentucky have got to start to feel good. They felt good yesterday, knocking off the Cougars of Columbia College, winning 56-51. And that was a close game the entire way. Columbia College could not buy a basket from 3. They finally started to connect on one late to tie it up. And then after that, the Bears were able to finish down the stretch. Trey Rakes with a clutch 3, and then 2 free throws to seal it. And that locked up the date here to the NAIA quarterfinals. A little bit easier for the Generals out of LSU Alexandria yesterday in the game right before that one. The Generals took on Westmont College, winning 81-61. And it was close throughout early. But as we got later into the second half, it was all LSU Alexandria to make it 33-0 on the season. The Bears have been to the free throw line on 4 consecutive possessions. 21 free throw attempts compared to 6. And things are starting to bounce the way of the Bears. But a lot of time left. 6:35 to go in this one from Kansas City, Missouri. Jim Joyner joining you here on the NAIA Network. And our crew here with Niles Media. Register over to the perimeter, Williams, and a bump called on Darian Leslie. The pump fake was enough to get Leslie to commit. That's his 3rd and team foul number 6. Darian Leslie's played well in this one, though. 13 points and 6 rebounds. Where he struggled is at the free throw line, 3 out of 7. Left alone, Register for the lead. Short, rebound, Michael Lewis. 4 points and 4 rebounds for the big man. Coming off of a dominant 12-point, 15-rebound, 4-block performance yesterday. Leslie backing down, right hand, no roll, tries to tip it back in, and a rebound for Gilbert Talbot for his 6th board. And he's been a little slower in this one with only 4 points. Scored 17 yesterday. Tomas. And a block is called on Michael Lewis. Hard contact. Moss almost picked up a foul there. Lewis will be called for that one. That should be his 3rd. And if it would have been on Brandon Moss, that would have been his 4th. And that would have drastically changed the game. Instead, it's Lewis's 2nd. And Brandon Moss to the free throw line. For a 1-on-1, he gets the 1st. A chance to tie here for Brandon Moss. And Lewis will come out of the game. Daniel Afiaki comes in. And we're tied again. 61 apiece. And here comes the pressure from the Generals. Pass to Daniel Afiaki. Larry Cordero is pleading for a travel. Finally gets it across. And now a foul called, and back to the free throw line go the Bears. So again, RJ Colbreth to the line, and he'll have 2. Colbreth has been solid in this one. 13 points and 5 rebounds. Only averaged 8 points a game coming in. And he gets it to go. As a team, they finally get over the 50% mark from the free throw line. Now 12 out of 22. And Colbreth here gives the Bears a 2-point lead. Bears by 2. 5.5 to go. A trip to the NAI semifinal, and now Darian Leslie gets called for another foul. And that'll be his 4th, and he'll have to come out of the game. Here comes Marshall Bennett. Leslie with 2 touch fouls for his last 2 out on the perimeter. He knew it both times. And back to the free throw line go the Generals. Still only 8 free throw attempts in this one, as Evan Smith has a 1-and-1. Seven for 9 for the Generals at the stripe. It's both of these teams coming in. Shot 69% from the line on the season. Here to tie. Got it. Again, we're tied at 63. Brian Sylvester will check in. Coming out of the game will be Hayward Register. Brian Sylvester has been good in this one. 14 points and 7 rebounds on 7-11 shooting. Here's the trap. Perry finds Trey Rakes on the baseline, and they bring it across. Rakes from the free throw line for the lead. Gets the roll. Trey Rakes converts on another one. And he has 18 points, 7 out of 11 from the field. After a strong finish yesterday, he's kept it rolling. Foul underneath called on Jordan Perry, team foul number 9. And Perry picks up his 2nd. I feel like the last 5 minutes or so have been spent almost entirely at the free throw line, as Gilbert Talbot will go to the stripe for 2 and a chance to tie. Talbot is 63% free throw shooter. This one will be 2. As he hits the first to make it a 1-point game. He was 1 out of 3 at the free throw line. A 20-point win against Westmont. And this one to tie for the senior out of Houma, Louisiana. No good. And a rebound for Marshall Bennett. The Bears maintain a 1-point lead in front of a good crowd here at Municipal Auditorium. Afiaki. Down to the right wing, Jordan Perry. High hedge from Talbot. Slow to get back, but it doesn't matter. Perry spinning. Right hand floater, up and in. What a finish for Jordan Perry. 12 points for him. Now 4 Bears are into double figures. Darian Leslie with 13, Perry with 12. Colbreth with 15, and now a foul called as Perry picks up the foul. And Trey Rakes leading the way with 18. And back to the free throw line go the Generals. Now both teams in the double bonus. And Brian Sylvester will have 2. Sylvester did not attempt a free throw yesterday, and he has yet to take one in this game. Brian Sylvester. This is the first. Daniel Afiaki out, Marshall Bennett out, Michael Lewis in, Darian Leslie in. Leslie's playing with 4 fouls, and Lewis has 2. Brian Sylvester has been one of the guys for this team this year. 14 points a game and 8 rebounds per, but he misses both. Talbot rebound, tipped out, and it will go back to the Bears. So an 0 for 2 spot there for Brian Sylvester at the line. And that's a big difference in this one here with 4:31 to play. Lead is still 3 for Pikeville. Both teams have struggled at the line. Here's Perry, who had a wonderful finish a moment ago. Perry. Working on Brandon Moss. Perry. Hand off Colbreth. Floating up. Oh, and a rejection from Brian Sylvester, his 6th of the game. And 3 seconds ago on the shot clock. Brian Sylvester was waiting on that one. You had a feeling it was about to be sent into the 3rd row. But now a chance here for the Bears. Up by 3, 3 to shoot. Backdoor Leslie goes up, won't finish, but he's fouled and will go to the line for 2. Even though Michael Lewis decided to slam it home. Foul's called on the Generals. Go on Gilbert Talbot. That's his 4th. Both teams are way into the double bonus. As Leslie hits the 1st. And he's been one that has struggled at the free throw line in this one. He was 3 out of 7 before making that one. Moss almost had the rebound, but into the arms of Hayward Register. 4-point lead for Pikeville, under 4 to play. And a chance at the 2nd big upset of the day. A 1 seed went down in the morning. A 1 seed survived in the early afternoon. And now LSU Alexandria, the #1 overall seed, being tested here in the early evening. Smith, floater, got it with 2 seconds to shoot. And the lead is back to 2. Larry Cordero, the head coach of the Generals, trying to will his team to a win. Leslie, him and Rakes. They've been the guns in this one, as well as Arze Colbreth. Now 7. Colbreth out to Leslie, 3. Contested, long 2. Won't get the roll, and a rebound for Hayward Register. Generals can tie or take the lead. Under 3 to go. Here's Jordan Williams. Long 2, contested, no. Rebound, grab by Michael Lewis. Gilbert Talbot has to be careful down low for the Generals. He has 4 fouls. Brandon Moss with 3, Evan Smith with 3, and Hayward Register with 3, and Trey Rakes will take a timeout with 2:38 to go here in the game, and the Bears holding on barely to a 2-point lead. And a full timeout taken by the team out of Pikeville. You've got a great one coming up after this. #1 seeded Dalton State, the #3 overall team, taking on a 3rd seeded Texas Wesleyan Rams team. Both of them won in late games last night, with Dalton State not finishing until almost midnight here local time. So we take a look at some of the earlier games in the bracket and what happened earlier today and what we've got upcoming. On this side of the bracket, LSU Alexandria and Pikeville were the ones that survived. With Pikeville beating Columbia College yesterday in a very close game. But LSU Alexandria with a powerful second half advance. And here's the bracket for the game upcoming tonight. Dalton State beat Montana Western in the late game. Texas Wesleyan beat the Masters in a very close game that was decided on the final possession. And the Rams and the Roadrunners will match up in the quarterfinals right after this one. Planning on starting at about 7:30, and that looks right. After the Masters were eliminated, they had a massive win in round #1 against Benedictine, the 2nd closest team here to Municipal Auditorium, in front of a predominantly Raven fan base, and the Masters looked great. They finally lost last night, and well, a good one we've got going here. The #1 team in the NAIA, the LSU Alexandria Generals, undefeated, 33-0. Regular season and conference tournament champions in a 2-point hole with 2:38 to go, with a trip to the national quarterfinal on the line. Inbound to Clint Wosu, who hasn't played much in this one, or at least he's been a little silent, only with 1 basket. Leslie up and in. Darian Leslie, 16 points, and the Bears extend the lead to 4. Coming down the stretch here at Kansas City, Missouri. Moss backing in, gets a shot block. Talbot will finish. And that's a big break there for the Generals. And a timeout is taken. And a full timeout from the Generals. As it was Brandon Moss trying to create the play. And it started with a nice defensive play. Wostu with a hand in there. But fortunately for the Generals, right into the lap of Gilbert Talbot. And he finishes for the AZ2, 70-68. A 2-point lead. Pikeville's been here before, though. 10th appearance in Kansas City. A 12-9 overall record, including that 2011 National Championship, under the direction of their current head coach, Kelly Wells. In his 11th season, the all-time wins leader at the University of Pikeville. This team has won 10 out of its last 12 after starting the season 11-1 in the Mid-South Conference. Trying to make it 2 Mid-South teams into the national semifinal coming up on Monday. Life out of Georgia will take on William Penn, the team from Oskaloosa, Iowa, in the first game, which will start at 6 p.m. on Monday night right here in Municipal Auditorium. And then this one will follow. The winner of this LSU Alexandria Pikeville game against the winner of the next one, Dalton State against Texas Wesleyan. But a lot of games still left to be played here. We don't know who will be making the national semifinal. Will it be the Generals for the first time in school history, in just the 3rd year of the program? And here comes the General press. 2:15 to go. Trey Rakes will walk it up the floor. He's led the Bears with 18 points. A game-high 18 points. Lewis. And out of Jordan Perry, 2 to go. Perry now at 10. Still dribbling around. Now with 5, loses it. Perry tries to get it into the corner and stolen by Hayward Register. 3-on-2 break. Williams, contact, tries to throw up a shot, but they'll call it on the floor. And Jordan Williams will have a chance to tie it with 2 free throws here and 1:42 to go.